Hello Pottery Plus and welcome back to the Pottery Plus Studios. Today we are going to do a video over centering a large piece of clay. When I say large, for me, I'm saying 5 pounds. I know there are people out there who work with much larger amounts of clay, but I would say for my beginners or for people who are typically making smaller items, 5 pounds is going to feel like quite a chunk, and the technique to center it is going to be a little bit different than when we're centering, say, 1 or 2 pounds. So what I have here is 5 pounds of porcelain that I measured the weight, made sure it was right around 5 pounds, and I wedged it for about a minute. So this is what I've got now. And let me tell you, I forgot how challenging it is to even wedge 5 pounds of clay. So I used a ram's horn and coning technique to help me get through it. I was centering on a table that was a bit high for me, and so that kind of added like an extra challenge, but we got it done. So I've got my 5 pounds of porcelain. I'm gonna do the normal way that I do to get it stuck down to the bat, and I am really gonna apply some pressure on the top really, really well. Now, for me, the spray bottle is gonna be my best friend for this today, because with this much clay, especially, you really need the clay to slide against your hands. Otherwise, you're not going to have too much control. So I'm going to start with the sponge, but I'm definitely going to incorporate the spray bottle as I get through the process. So I'm going to start with my right hand on top, my left hand on the side. And I'm going to kind of just try to get like it roughly centered to start. Okay. So I'm not going for perfect centeredness in just this one fell swoop. I'm just going to be kind of working from the top and then the side and then the top and then the side. So this is going to look familiar if you have seen my other centering video that I have. This is going to look familiar to you, but I am going to incorporate that coning method that I've talked about in the past. And if you've been doing work on the wheel for a while, I am sure you've heard of it. But if not, coning is just where you bring the clay up and it gives you access to kind of the interior layers of the clay so that you can get some pressure on them and get them on center, and then you bring it back down. Okay. So with a big old piece like this, I'm definitely going to be doing some coning. So let me show you what it's going to look like. I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to slowly push in and up, and I'm doing that with this hand. My right fist on top is just there squeezing the sponge to give me some moisture, so my hand is sliding. But really my left hand is applying most of the pressure. And you guys, the way that I like to do this, my cone's a little bit dramatically going from large to small. But what I like to do is I bring it up in small bits, and I bring whatever off-centeredness is up to the top, and then I take care of it there, right here. So I'm just gonna go back down a little lower and bring it up the side. And I can feel that it's getting on center. I am scraping a little bit, friends. That's not actually intentional. Even though my sponge is in between my nails are a bit long. And I know, I've said before, it's going to be real tough to work on the wheel with long nails, but if you've seen my last few videos, I've just been enjoying having my nails long, and I've been having them painted, but I took the nail polish off last night to give it a rest. Okay, anyway, sorry to go off on a tangent about that. So I'm slowly just going to bring these layers up, and see, I can tell I've got this chunk of the clay centered, but down here there's still some work that needs to be done. I can feel it, so I'm just going to keep working it into that cone. And I can feel that it's getting kind of better and better with each pass. Really, it's just the bottom now that's feeling kind of bad. So I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing. And friends, I think, you know, depending on who watches this, there would probably be some folks, you know, who've been doing pottery for a long time who might say that this is not the best coning technique, and I don't know, maybe it's not, but it works for me. So that's why I do it. I can kind of do little bits at a time here, and it's certainly not like a flashy technique, and it's kind of slow. But yeah, like I said, this is something I've found that works for me. And I don't throw large items often at all. I like things that are small and intimate, but okay, what I'm gonna do here, because I need a bit more pressure than what I can get, which is my fingers. And I'm coming in from the part that's right in front of me. And what I did just there was I just used my palm to kind of, like I said, apply a little bit more pressure. I think here's where I might start using the spray bottle a little bit. Because I feel like I'm really saturating the clay. And I need to kind of maybe stop dousing it so much. So, and friends, it's looking pretty centered. My cone is not beautiful, but the clay is feeling quite centered. So I'm happy with that. And I'm gonna try just maybe one more pass. I just want to bring my cone in a little bit more. Honestly, kind of for no other reason than just to visually get that cone shape in there a little bit more, like in the traditional way that it looks. It's more of a mound, but that's all right because it's feeling centered. So I think I'm going to go ahead and push it back down. So once you bring your cone up, you're always going to have to bring it down because unless you're wanting to throw a cone-shaped form, which would be probably a rarity, this technique is just, like I said, to kind of stretch that clay out, get the layers on center, and then you push it back down into your traditional kind of like low, maybe, typically we're going to start with kind of like a hockey puck shape or a cylindrical shape for most forms. So we need to get this back kind of to that point. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing sort of, oh gosh, this is hard to put into words. I'm pushing forward and down with this hand and straight down with my fist. I'm gonna increase my wheel speed a little bit here actually. So this goes a little faster. All right. So it should start to kind of, oh, I've got a little air bubble right there. If you've never been here before, what I always say about air bubbles is unless they get really close to the surface, I try to just leave them alone. Okay, so now I'm pushing down, just straight down on the top and then kind of moving my fist out. Okay. So I'm kind of doing a motion like this. My left hand is helping support and keep it steady and stable. I might have to take care of those air bubbles. Oh no, we'll see. And this is almost getting there, friends. It's just gonna be a matter of kind of finessing it, but it is pretty centered and looking pretty ready to be opened for maybe like a large bowl. Whoa, a vase, a pitcher. Oh, and here comes Birdie. So this is a good, perfect time to end the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. As always, I love your feedback. So let me know what you thought. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, Pottery Plus.